Wonderful people, thank you for tuning in. You're watching Hue in Colour. Isn't it fascinating in life how we make assumptions? We make assumptions about a culture, we make assumptions about a location, we make assumptions about a film, about the food that we eat, and even about how the day will pan out, and even about what we're going to do and how it will show up in our lives. Assumptions are interesting things because they're not always true. I remember when I was an estate agent, one of my colleagues said to me, he said, assumptions make an arse out of you and me. And I thought that's so funny because it's a literal way of explaining it, of explaining the spelling, but at the same time it's completely true. You know, assumptions can make us fall into a trap. And the truth is, in life, the reason people make a breakthrough is because they assume the best possible outcome. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk about assuming the best possible outcome and why some people seem to make it look easy and seem to always be in a constant state of success and progress and thriving, whereas others seem to look upon this way of being as a mystical, rare, extraordinary event, when others just see it as everyday life, like breathing. So how do we make assumptions work in our favour? The first thing I want to do is start with a question. Have you ever met someone in your life that seems to always be happy or seems to always be thriving? They seem to know exactly where they're going. You know, they're very optimistic and they're just essentially constantly looking forward to whatever it is they're working on, whatever it is they have planned for that day. It's because, my friends, in their minds, they just assume that it's going to be okay. Now that can be because of a whole number of different reasons. It could have been through experience, that everything's always worked out. It could have been from their background, that people have seen things work out so they don't know otherwise, that they've never actually experienced hardship, they've never experienced challenges, that things just always worked out. So they just assume they always will, and it's a blessing, it's a gift, because it just means things always will work out. Whereas other people might have gone through challenges, they've had disappointment in their life, they've made lots of phone calls, they've sent out CVs, you know, and I've tried to make progress and it hasn't happened. So it's hard to just wake up the next day with a blank slate and just assume that everything's going to go okay. But once again, my friends, the universe doesn't know any different. The universe is like so blasé. The universe is a bit like a tourist. It's just going along with whatever. It's like, oh look, there's a nice museum. Oh look, there's a nice restaurant. That's how the universe works. It's just essentially observing. So if you lead with an assumption of the best possible outcome, then it will work out. And everything else will fall into place. Like self-doubt will pop up, you know, a bit like those whack-a-moles in the arcade. You know, those like, sometimes they would be crocodiles, sometimes they would be moles, and you had to hit them, they keep popping up. And that's what will happen. Someone will pop up and be like, oh, you sure? Oh, but have you done that before? Because it's the familiarity, isn't it? Once again, it's like, oh, God, could you possibly believe that there's going to be a different outcome, that I'm going to do something different? Well, yes, we're ever-changing, ever-evolving beings, so why not? So assume the best possible outcome and move towards it and act accordingly. The process will be, yeah, that it's going to be challenging, yeah, that there's going to be questions that come up, but you're moving in the right direction. It's a bit like when you're doing a hike or a trail. Yeah, it's going to be difficult bits. You might slip, but if you just stay true to the course and follow the signs, like in life we have signs, intuition, if we follow that, then we will get to where we need to be. So we can wake up with that same enthusiasm. We can go out about our day with a grin on our face, dancing in the street, and you can be ready for the best possible outcome. My friends, you've been watching Hue in Colour. I'll catch you in the next episode.